All right, that's more like it. That's what a crappy car should sound like. All right, everybody, Rob Ferretti here, and let me tell you how my yard has gotten significantly more expensive. You're gonna see I took down the trees in the front, and let me tell you how it didn't go according to plan. I mean, the railing is a perfect indicator, and look how cute my house is with the lights on right now. Christmas time. I didn't put my ice rink up in the front yard yet because I have to do just a little bit of dirt on it just to level it out so it's good for the season. But it's a good thing that I didn't, because this happened, which is essentially the reason I had to take down a bunch of trees. And this spiraled, this one branch spiraled into, I don't know, I'll add it up in a second, but here's the branch coming down. So the trees that were up there were, I think, like 100 feet away from the house. And this thing, the branch, when it fell, came as far as here, and that's not good, right? Like, so I had an arborist come in. They checked it out. They're like, look, this is gonna keep happening. And it's actually the third time I've lost branches off those trees. So I was like, all right, you know what? I don't want to ruin my ice rink. I don't want to hit my house. I don't want something to fall in the road while somebody's driving. I don't want one of my kids to get hit by a branch while they're just playing in the yard. I had to do something about it. And luckily it was that time of year where it's a little bit cheaper to hire tree guys because there's not a lot going on. And hire tree guys, they came, they wiped out that whole front row of trees. So, that row of trees up there finally goes goodbye. So when you think your job is tough, guy's 60 feet up in a tree, swaying in the wind. It's amazing when he's got a strap holding him in, right? So he's got this horseshoe strap that wraps around the tree so he can lean back and it holds him up. But he keeps taking it off when he goes around a branch. So he's like standing on one of these branches that keeps snapping off, but he stands on it, and that's the only thing that keeps him up in the tree other than his spiked shoes, which is nuts to me. Don't hit my house.
Whoa. The whole house shook.
I think they've gotten more aggressive. We're going all Egyptian now. There it goes. So the process of taking down those trees was $3,500. Now, I always tell people to get estimates, at least 3, so you know what the real price of something should be. I got $3,500, $3,600, and then I got a guy at like $5,800. But then I was like, all right, the cost should be $3,500. They wiped out that row of trees, and unfortunately, the one exploded. It's all right, hit the deck a little bit. And it's not even like the tree hit the house. It's like a branch from over there hit and then slingshotted up into the railing. But they're gonna fix that. That's why you go with like a licensed and bonded company. I don't even think it's that expensive. They're not gonna make an insurance claim on it. But they came in like the very next day. They apologized. I'm like, dude, tree blew up. Like, what do you want me to tell you? Like, all good, fix it. It's winter time. It's not like I'm having a party outside at this time of year. So it wasn't really a big deal. But now I've got no trees in the front, and that brings up a whole nother problem, is I gotta spend even more money. So this one branch coming down and making me recognize that I gotta take these trees down now has cost me the money to take the trees down, and now I have to put new trees in here, and that's where it starts to get expensive. The quotes that I'm getting right now are between $5,000 and between $5,000 and like $8,000 to put trees here. But then I also have to take the stumps out. A lot of people would grind the stumps. I rather just pull them all out. That's going to be $900 or $1,000 for a container. And then it's going to be $1,200 because they're fairly large. It's going to be $1,200 to get the machine in here with the day rate to pull them out. But then I'm going to have to bring dirt either from the back, or I'm going to have to bring dirt in to then fill this in so I could put more trees down. I may have a little bit of more sod that has to come in here to fill this in. I don't know. I mean, the tree's at $6,000 or whatever. So the $6,000, $10,000. Then the $6,000, $10,000. Then the machine work is another $2,000 or $2,200, $13,000 there. And I'm probably gonna do like a stone wall in the front of it, just to make this grade change here, and it'll look nice. And also, if a car comes careening off the street, it doesn't run into my kids or anything like that. So I figure that's a couple $1,000s. That one branch ultimately is going to cost me $20,000. Now, if you think about that, like you think about building a house, that's one thing. Think about building a house and then start adding up what this front yard has now cost me. Forget about the septic, forget about the site work, forget about everything having to do with construction. The grass in the front yard, now the trees, taking down the trees, putting trees in the front, putting up those gates, not even doing the driveway yet, it's like $60,000. Think about that, like $60,000 just for your yard. And those are the joys of home ownership. Now, I had a big sign here too, which the town took down. Not the town, the county, because there's a county property over there. And they marked this out because they tried to pull us out with their machine, and they're like, oh, we got to do a mark out. So they had everything marked out. Obviously, the gas line's there, water line's there, electric is over there. And this shouldn't, I can't imagine how deep it goes, but they should have this thing fished out pretty soon too. And then I'll have sort of a more complete front yard to my property. I'm not going to say I was never planning on getting around to it. I just wasn't planning on doing it now. Did I want to spend $20,000 in December to take down some trees and everything? But now I want to start the tree process growing. The guys are saying, yeah, can't guarantee them if we put them in the winter. I'm like, you know what? Just get the damn trees in. I rather have trees here so they can start growing. And if we start a little bit smaller, like if I get some 6 or 7 foot trees instead of 8 or 9 foot trees, if they die, I can replace them with taller trees. If I start with the taller trees and they die, then I have to get like a 14-foot tree, which is significantly more expensive. So I'm going to go that route. But that's how one tree branch, forgetting even the railing, has cost me $20,000 this month. And I don't know, it'll look nice when I'm done, but I wasn't expecting that. The joys of home ownership, right? Like, is stuff that you have to deal with that you otherwise wouldn't have to deal with. If I was renting the house or renting a property and something like that happens, call a landlord. People forget about that stuff, or people neglect it and they don't do the right thing and they don't fix it, or they wait till something falls down, then it hits the house. If for those of you like, why don't you just make an insurance claim? You had an arborist come. Insurance doesn't cover that stuff. It's insurance would only cover it if the branch was, I think if it hit the driveway or the house is the only time they would have covered it. Wasn't worth it. It was only, I think they only covered up to $500 per tree for removal or something like that. So whatever it is, it's not worth making a claim. They'll jack your rates for the next 20 years and you'll pay for that tree 30 times over. So I went the route that I went, and that's the story of my life. So enjoy Rob Ferretti. My car should be warm right now. My railing should be fixed in the next week or two, and we'll be back ready to go, and I'll let you know what that looks like when it's done, because I'm sure it'll look pretty nice. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.